Record on here. Okay. All right. Hi, guys and gals. So I'm going to kick off our our team Zoom tonight by going over the promo. I know that you all can read. I know that you all got emails. I don't do this to drag it out, but I just want to make sure that everyone's on the same page and that we all know what's happening. They teased us about it a couple of times this morning. Paul made a post. Jason made a post. I will say, if you're not following Jason Camper on Instagram, you really need to be. He is typically the first one to leak stuff. And I forget what product it was. And I know a lot of you were around when it happened, but he accidentally said the name of a product one time on stage. It had like a code word, like a code name, and he screwed up and said it one time. So I follow Jason because I feel like he gets excited and screws up. Okay, so it is the first order frenzy. So right off the bat, first order, first ever order. So if it's a customer who switches it to promoter, if they've already placed an order one time as a customer, it's not their first order. It will literally be when you go in the cloud and you look at a customer or a promoter and you look at their order history, there should be nothing there. If there's anything there, this promo does not count for them. That's the easiest way to explain that. So it's today through Sunday. They're going to take $40 off that order of 160 or excuse me, or greater. So they're obviously aiming for the 3 steps or whatever somebody wants to come up with to get to that 160. They have to use the promo code. If they put the order in and they don't use the promo code and they don't see the $40 off come off their invoice before they click place order, it's not going to happen. They have to use the promo code. And just real quick, I'm going to drop down. This offer is strictly for first-time promoters or customers. We talked about that. You have to use the promo code. It can only be applied to one order. So if somebody's like, oh, I ordered, but now I meant to use this order too, they can't. They have to put everything on one order. It does not count for sample mail out credits or Thrive Nourish. So in other words, you can't go in and order $160 plus worth of Thrive credits or sample mail out credits and get this promo. This is just basically for product. But do please notice that UE and the Thrive 2.0 are not excluded. This is like the first promo that I can think of, unless I'm forgetting one that it's not been excluded. Can't combine it with other offer. The use of Thrive credits is not permitted. So please pay attention to that. So the order is also based on the subtotal before tax and shipping. So don't ever let someone look at their order and be like, well, by the time I pay tax and shipping, it's over 160. That's not going to count. It has to be the products themselves that are on the order of 160 or more. So right away when this came out, somebody was like, well, but I was going to give so-and-so some credits to help. Like if the company's already given them $40 off, I was going to give them $10 off. Okay, don't do it in credits because they can't put it on this order. You could give them $10 in credits to use on their next order or any credit amount you could give them. You could also do a $10 rebate. You could offer a free shipping rebate and rebate back their shipping if you're wanting to add to it. But you guys, $40 off is a pretty good deal. I feel like I have had to give away less and less and less of my personal stuff because lately, especially with this hot summer frenzy series they've been doing, Lavelle has been throwing the kitchen sink at everyone. So $40 off for a first time order of 160 or more. Make sure you got the fine print. Now, here's the part that I get excited about. Are you a GOAT promoter, a greatest of all time? You can prove it this week. So during this promo period, if you do $1,000 of QV, which is qualified volume, in PPA, which is the same way of saying first ever order, and a minimum of 6 first-time orders, that's outside. I don't know if you can hear the siren. Sorry. You will receive $1,000 GOAT bonus. Real quick, just so no one asks, so we have this out in the open. That $1,000 comes in the form of $700 in cash, $300 in credits, which the credits you can obviously use for yourself or pass down. Let me double check myself on that. I just said that. Make sure it says you can. Yeah. Okay. So don't be like, I didn't get $1,000 on my paycheck. You're going to get $700 additional dollars and $300 in credits. Okay. So let's break this down. They're looking for $1,000. And I know this is easy math, but again, I'm on day 1 of detox. So just bear with me. They're looking at 6 orders with a minimum of $167. So it's basically going to be 6 people ordering the 3 steps, maybe plus something, or maybe you have somebody place a big order and then you only have to have 5 for first time orders, whatever. But they're basically saying if you can run out and get 6 new customers and or new promoters, you can do this. Now, you guys, they're also giving the $40 off on promoter packs. So right there, the $200 promoter pack order for someone who's never ordered before, they're going to get $200 worth of product for $160. That's a really good deal. So I have a gut feeling that several people, when they opened the email, went, oh, $40 off. Oh, no, I don't have anybody, right? How many of you were like, I don't have anybody? And then when you got to the go part, you're like, 6? They're smoking crack. That was actually what I thought on that part. But they're not. They are here. They are literally giving us everything possible that they can to help us. And I know all of you are doing your 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I know you all are. Even those of you that aren't technically in boot camp, I know in my heart you're doing your 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I know you're talking to people. I know you're having conversations. This is the exact moment that we've talked about for months. People are out of summer. Our school system goes back this week. A lot of the school systems around, some of them started today. Some people started last week. People are out of summer. They're back on track. This is for them. If they've been watching you, if they've been commenting with you, if you've ever had a conversation with them, as Samantha Cox would say, now is time to be bold. And you have a reason to be bold now. You're not just out there pedaling or pushing it. You have a deadline. You have something you can offer these people who have maybe wanted to thrive but couldn't really decide. Well, if they could decide to sugar it off the pot now, between now and Sunday, they can save $40. So keep that in mind and run with that fire, run with that determination, and run with the deadline. I love when Lavelle gives me a deadline, because then I don't feel pushy. I'm just like, well, that's when it ends. So if you want to do it, we got to do this. So work with that. You guys should have stacks and stacks of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1s with tons of people's names on it. Circle back 6 to 8 weeks. Who haven't you talked to in 6 to 8 weeks? Follow up with them. It's not a matter of, like, when people look at me and say, I don't know who to talk to. Or if you're a brand new promoter, I get it. Maybe you don't know who to talk to yet. Maybe you haven't made it that far. If you've been here for more than a month, you have 4 weeks worth of conversations that you have started with people. Circle back. Go back through those. Who did you write a note by? Who did you star? Who sampled? Who sampled in the last 2 to 6 months that hasn't ordered yet? Maybe they didn't order because summer was coming and they couldn't get their head on straight. Maybe they didn't have enough money. TJ, I'm talking to you. Apparently I'm talking to you because Sam just turned the camera to you. So who is sampled that hasn't yet ordered? Right? Those are the people you want to be talking to. And then obviously anybody new that pops up. I mean, you can always throw out something about how you got $40 off to offer people. And also, I would say that I am offering $40 off. I know Lavelle's doing it, but by God, I'm going to take the credit for it. Okay. Nobody has to know that it's not my $40. I'm not giving back. Right. I'm throwing in $40. And then, like I said, if you feel like you still need to or want to throw something in, I mean, heck, you could throw in a blender bottle. You like, if it's, someone local, you don't have to ship it to. You could throw in a blender bottle. You could throw in, I don't know, an extra pack of a different DFT or something like, or a sheet. Like, don't even do the whole pack. Throw in an extra sheet of DFT and be like, you know what? On week 2, I'm going to be mailing you some different DFTs to try. So they could try Black Label or they could try Ultra or something like that as they start week 3. Like, have like that little dangling carrot so they're staying in contact with you. But use this promo. Don't just look at it and be like, oh, that was nice, and then let it flit away. Use it. This is the perfect reason to talk to people, new people and or people you've been talking to. This is the perfect reason to go back to your 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Does anybody have any questions about the promo of the faces that I see?
Okay, and now it says on there personally enrolled.
Correct.
So like customer A, because I know this question is going to come up. Customer A, there you're personally enrolled, and they got a friend that's made an account we've helped make an account underneath them. They're not a promoter yet. So does that count as my personally enrolled?
If it's your customer's referral, yes. Your customer's referral is your personally enrolled customer.
Okay.
Like, so so like when you get a customer referral, your customer who referred them doesn't get an email saying, hey, Lisa, thanks for signing up Courtney. You get it because it's your customer. I think and I've been noticing this lately on the last couple, they specifically call out compression does not apply. I'm assuming that is if someone steps away and people roll up, that doesn't apply. I don't know exactly. Just know if it's someone that you signed up, they can have that promo. So honestly, I'll tell you really quick, and I'm going to actually do it so I say all the right words for those of you that are following along. How do you know who you already have existing that could take advantage of this? You can go into your menu, you can go to my team, you can go to my customers, scroll over to the right where it says last order, click it once. None of these people that pop up first are going to have ever ordered. There's a list right there of all the existing people you could be talking to that already have customer accounts. The promoter one's a little trickier, I think, unless there's something I don't know, but you would go to your sponsorship team. The first group of people that it's going to pop up for you anyway is it's going to default to your level 1. So those are your personally enrolled. There's not a quick button that I'm aware of to do that. I would just kind of have to go through name by name. If anybody knows a quick way to do that, let me know. Like I know we can sort by level, qualified and active, I guess. But I mean, somebody could have been active at one time and fallen off. I don't know. Just go through that one by one, talk to your people, know where they are. And then go out there and create new accounts. Like that's what this is for. This is to turn up new business. They just got done offering a buku amount to anybody, could have been existing promoters or customers, and now they've turned the tables and now we're focused on new. So I mean, kudos to them to fill all those gaps for us all the time, but I love that they're focused on new, because I'm telling you, now is the time. Now is back to school, change of seasons, whatever the heck you want to call it. People are ready to get back into a routine. So definitely take advantage of that. Okay, so now for the part that I really don't know what I'm going to talk about, but I do kind of want to talk about. So today alone, I feel like I'm overstimulated, to be honest with you. I got on the Monday morning motivational call. I hopped on Lindsey's live in Thriving Sisters. Then I watched Lindsey's YouTube from over the weekend. And then I listened to Courtney Glazer at noon, whatever that was. And then I don't know what I did after that. That's 7 whole hours ago. So apparently I've done something. But who on here has had a chance to catch the recording? First of all, kudos. Thank you a million times over, Lindsey, for setting up your tripod and recording those trainings while you were there. Because I don't know, when I heard Leanne say she hopped on a plane from Florida to go to Texas because she wanted to fill her cup, I was like, well, damn it, I wanted to fill my cup too, but I didn't get on a plane and go to Texas. I guess I should have. But that was so nice that we had access to that. So I appreciate that greatly. And I love that you broke it up and that we can all get it on your YouTube now. But those of you that did get a chance to watch it, either type in the chat or unmute and tell me, like, what was the thing that stuck out with you about not all the things I just named off, but about Lindsey's community connection. Yeah, go for it, Sandra.
First of all, I mean, you could tell it was coming from her heart, and she was speaking Thrive Church Beyond. And I mean, what was coming from her was the spirit of Lindsey that we've been seeing for the last 6 months. And it just lets us know that, you know what, oh my gosh, if she can do that, yes, we can too. Mm-hmm. It was the most powerful things I've ever heard come out of her mouth. And Lindsey, it was phenomenal.
That was lovely. Lindsey, you didn't know that. I didn't know. None of us knew this was happening tonight because I told you I didn't know what I was doing. But so of it being phenomenal, because I agree, like, trust me, I agree. There was like massive pride of seeing Lindsey on stage, running the show, freaking got Paul so fired up he had to come and sit on the stage with you, and then he had to hug you before he left. Like, but of all the things that were phenomenal that she talked about, what made you start thinking, oh, I could do better? Well, now we've made Lindsey cry.
I just love. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, Sandra. No, go ahead. No.
I told Lindsey earlier, and I just want everyone to hear how what I had said to her is, like, she stole that stage. Like, she was leading them, and she was like, I mean, she was the speaker. Like, she overshadowed Paul. And I'll tell you right now, I normally take a ton of notes from Paul, and my whole thing is all Lindsey. Like, it was just her. It was her show. Like, that was her. I'm coming to the next one. But as far as like what I learned, and it's kind of funny because we've been doing this together, right? Like, the 3 of us have been running boot camp together, but I keep having to tell myself the same thing. I need to get into my team page. Yes, boot camp is awesome, and I love being a part of Thriving Sisters and Dream Team and my team page. I love being a part of all that, but I have to be very intentional and purposeful about going into my team page and doing more than just throwing up a graphic. And so I love how, like, sometimes, you know, when Paul gets on stage, things get a little derailed and the topic goes a little here, there, and everywhere. Lindsey kept it on track. She kept coming back to, okay, so about the community, let's talk about the community, because our community is so important. But I'm going to tell you right now, we have the absolute best community. Like, our tribe, our team, our environment that we have right now, I cannot even tell you how many leaders have come to me, to Tammy, to Lindsey, and say, I'm so jelly, I want what you have, because our team is like this. So I'm so proud to have Lindsey stand up there and represent the Thriving Sisters, because she, like, I was the whole time like, oh my, I was 14 minutes in texting her like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. You're doing so good. I just, hugs from Arizona, Lindsey. Like, you did awesome. So thank you for giving me those reminders. Even I needed to hear that stuff.
Mm-hmm. So real quick, Sandra said the vulnerability. I'm that way with y'all, but not always with my own team. So she's been encouraged to be more open. Courtney says I haven't watched it yet. Now I'm even more excited. Sonia says I haven't had a chance to watch it either, but I will definitely get to it tonight. Sonia, try to do it early because it's going to keep you awake. You're gonna have trouble falling asleep. And I will 1000% agree with you, Samantha. And honestly, in the moment, I was like, I'm kind of ashamed. So we have all worked together so tightly. And I knew that Lindsey had this schedule, and I knew all the things that she was doing because we talk about it all the time. And then I was like, I don't. So I immediately, it's on my calendar now. Money Monday. Like, I was thinking of things like Treat Tuesday, TV Tuesday, Team Tuesday, like Brainwash Wednesday. Like, I have crap for the team coming now, because I was like, damn, like we should be doing that too. So I love getting those constant reminders. Because a lot of times a lot of times I get, I don't know if it's overwhelmed, but like boot camp, squad, doing the things. And so I loved the reminder to get back into your team page. And I loved the reminder too, I think Leanne said it, but how she told her husband, like, she didn't have a team in Texas, but she wanted to go and fill her cup. And it made me immediately think of our local this Thursday. We get together once a month here in Lebanon, and sometimes we get a newbie, sometimes we don't, but I've never left there not feeling better, because you get to be around your thriving sisters. And I would say Aunt TJ, but he's far away now. So I will say I had immediate pride when they were like, when's the last time you had a local? And I was like, oh, dream team. Yeah. Because we always have ours, even when we don't feel like it or don't want to. So I was super proud of that. I do think that we've worked really hard on community. So who else that has seen it, or like Courtney and Sonia, I know you guys said you hadn't seen it, but basically the gist was, well, Sonia, I will give you kudos. You will see it, because one of the things Lindsey was talking about was how having like a community should start with you, with every single one of us. It has to start with us. And I threw you under the bus and said, oh, you should talk to Sonia. Sonia Whalen has had a group chat, and she has been very dedicated to keeping product spotlights going. She doesn't just throw the graphic in about a promo. She puts a little explanation in there. She talks to people about it. And it's really started a lot of conversations with your people. I love like the most recent one, I think, was balance. She threw in there, and several people chimed in and said, oh, I use it, I take it, here's what I do. And then there was one, I think Boost or something, where somebody said, what's it taste like? Is it any good? And like, she's getting people who would not be talking about Thrive in any way, shape, or form during the day to at least talk about it, to be thinking about it. And that's building that community. And so everyone's community is going to start small. Like, it has to start with one person, it has to start with you, and then it can grow from there. So you maybe haven't watched it yet, Sonia, but it's kind of about you. So you should probably watch it. She even says your name in it. Lisa,
I just love, when you think of a millionaire leader in a company, you think of somebody that might, I don't mean this in a bad way, think more highly of themselves and not focus on the people below them. And I think one of the other ladies said too, she's got somebody that's 23rd level down for her. And Lindsey's the same way. I feel like I was so proud because she has poured into me. I could text her or send her a message right now, and whatever I needed, she would do for me. You know, and she didn't get any money off of me. That doesn't matter.
Mhm.
Her love and care for us as individuals is what's huge. And I was just so proud of you today. I was sitting at work watching it. I was like, go Lindsay, so thank you. Thank you for pouring into all of us. You know, it's not just me, you do it for all of us. And it's much appreciated. And I love that you gave kudos to Tammy and Samantha with the boot camp thing. That was, you know, that just shows your character. That just shows the woman that you are. You're amazing.
Lindsay, I feel like you have to talk now.
I do. Thank you. I don't like, I don't like to be put on like a center stage. I don't like to have the attention. I don't really like those things, but I will tell you this. And I said it in my live video today, but I'll say it again. I didn't have one single downline member there this weekend. Not one. Not one single person in my Thriving Sisters tribe, and all my level ones, pretty much my top 4 levels are all local. But guys, I said when I started boot camp, I was not doing this for anybody else but myself. And I proved that this weekend, and I will continue to prove that. And if there is anything that I can teach you, is when you start doing things for other people, it's going to crumble. But when you start doing it for yourself, like I was already on a boot camp high and a work high and all of that. And now I'm just on a bigger high because I didn't even care. I'm not ashamed to say that nobody's there. They should be ashamed that they're not there. I'm not. So, and I had to pray about saying that comment, but I needed to say that out loud because I want for people like y'all to know you have to just show up. You have to do it for you, regardless if anybody's there or not. I had no shame in my game that nobody was there. I let people know that my team wasn't here, but I'm here. And that's what matters. And so next time, one thing I learned from Leanne too is she's been at every single one of the Hot Thrive summer ones. Her kids started school today and she still made a point to be there, and I will do the same exact thing. I do not believe there are any coming up. I did see somebody post something about one in Orange County, but I don't know if they're talking about the 10-year anniversary or
Yeah.
what. I don't know.
I thought that they specifically said this Texas was the last of the tour.
I saw it on the
summer
fan page today, and I don't know. It said Orange County, but I think that that's where our
Well, maybe they're
that's
going to
where
do
the 10-year
something.
anniversary. I don't know where the hell the 10-year anniversary bullshit is.
It's in
honestly.
California
We
somewhere.
fly into 5,000 different retreat things. But I saw it today on there, and it says right here. Oh no, it doesn't say right there. I don't know where it is. But thank y'all for just always loving on me and picking me up. It means so much. So just think about, like, you do this for your own team. Do this for your own team, and if there's anything I can teach you, be bigger and better than you were yesterday. That's all I can say.
Let me
But
ask
I'm
you
not
one
finding
question.
it.
I want you to speak on one thing for us. Back in
Please.
February, when you joined boot camp and we were like, hey girl, go get in your team page, show up so people know who you are, know that you're working. Talk about what that was like between then and now. Because people see you now, you're on stage, you were training, you're like, oh, but talk about February and March and April, like what that was like.
I hated Tammy and Samantha. I didn't really want to. Seriously, well, what happened is they were like, Lindsay, just show up in your team page 3 days a week. I'm like, okay, I can do that. That's no big deal. So I started 1st of March, mid-March. They told me by April 1st, I had to be in my team page every single day. Talk about your honey hole sucking up. I was like, what? But that 30 days changed the trajectory of me, my mindset. I'm not going to say my business, but I'm going to say other people's businesses, but ultimately, which is my business. The one thing where so many people that are unturned. So for me, I got excited again. I get excited now to go find y'all motivational posts. Y'all, if you're in boot camp, you saw I'm a train wreck on Canva, but I'm still by golly doing it. And I'm putting every single Thursday, there's a new Canva graphic up for the team to use. Every single Saturday, there's a product spotlight that can be used. And Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, now Samantha and Tammy have helped me take on those live videos. I just feel a sense of community like I hadn't felt. And yes, at first I was scared and I'm like, I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that. Little did I know that time led to filling my cup in way more ways than I anticipated. And so that's why I felt like telling people today to get group chats is so, so important, because you have one customer, you have a team. And it just fills my cup to fill other people's cup. Plus, that Thriving Sisters page was made 8.5 years ago. There's so much history in that page. That's my baby. Like, when I go to that page, that's my baby. I'll never forget the day that I started it and when I got to add people to it. And so think of it like your baby, and you're starting all over again. And each day and the good thing about the team, like when they told me to show up in my team page, you can pre-schedule things out and do things like that. So I want to encourage you to do it, because it did more for me than I anticipated. I was mad at first. One thing I've learned through this boot camp with these 2 drill sergeants is if I go pouting and spouting and stomping and pissed off, 9 times out of 10, it's because I really need to do it and I need it to fill my cup. So just remember that.
And the first month when you were doing that, your participation from the team was very different than it is now, right? And so we hear that a lot from people. No one's responding, no one's showing up, no one. I mean, you guys, I've said this before. There's how many people on Dream Team, and there's 8 of us here tonight. It doesn't matter. This is my goal, is to have this community and this team. And so my hope is that you're here. And if you can't be here, you're catching it on the replay. But if I sit and wait for people to show up, well, that's not going to go very well at all, right? Like that, it'll never take off. So you have to, and this is me talking to myself, you have to create the environment and the schedule and the business that will be in place for when you are 200K or when you are 12K. If you're looking, I mean, a lot of people like, I'm looking for my rockstar promoter. Are you ready for a rockstar promoter? Where are you going to put that rockstar promoter? Sonia could literally throw that rockstar promoter in her group chat right now, and that person could scroll through there and see all those product spotlights, and she could see the conversations that were started. Like that's a resource to people. So those of you that don't have group pages yet, get your customers. I would say first of all, your customers should be in our Vibe and Thriving group for sure. But you could also have a group chat for anybody that's a promoter. And I know a lot of you have non-promoted promoters. So do I. I just said there's 8 of us on here tonight, and I have how many? So the non-promoting promoters, they're not going to get on a Zoom like this. They're not going to be part of this. They're going to probably ignore most all of the emails that they get from Lavelle. They may not even be following Lavelle on Facebook anymore. But if I have a group chat that I don't abuse, like you don't want to abuse the group chat, right? You want to make it a resource for people. So like throw in recipes, throw in, like, it can't always just be about a sale, because then that means that they're just a number to you, right? You need to offer them things, a little snippet about why they need to stay hydrated, like feed into them. And if you're not sure what to feed into your non-promoted promoters, you could steal stuff from Vibin' and Thrivin', recirculate it or whatever. Sonia even said that she uses your product spotlights on Saturday, Lindsay, to throw into her chat. So right there, if you guys are looking for a product spotlight, Thriving Sisters has it every Saturday. You don't even have to make this crap up. It's already made up for you. But it has to start with you. And those of you that have group pages, you just have to show up. And like Lindsay said, you can schedule that stuff. I know that it is hard to show up every single day, and like, because some days you don't want to, but maybe you've already scheduled something. Maybe you already have a quote to pop in there for you to kind of hold you over until you are ready to get back in there. So cut yourself some slack in that realm, that you have that ability, if you have a big enough team to have a page, like to use it that way. And use the heck out of Lindsay and Samantha and my page, like whatever groups you have access to, use the heck out of those pages. And the YouTubes, all 3 of us have YouTubes with tons of training on it. You guys can access all that stuff. So there's always something you could be trickling into your team, whether it be your customers or your promoters. But remember, when you steal or trickle or whatever, you share stuff, put your spin on it, right? Like, I mean, a product spotlight, I don't know if Lindsay says y'all, I don't know if I read that. I may not read that in Sonia's voice, if you know what I mean. So use your words, just like we always say on your own post, to make it about you or personal to you. But yeah, so again, I had no plan for tonight, but I'm glad it turned into this. I love that it turned into some praise for Lindsay, because I know she deserves it and could use it. And it just shows, again, the kind of community that we do already have. The 8 of us here tonight, and however many are watching this on the replay, you are part of a tight community. You are supported, and it doesn't matter what level you are to somebody. It just matters what you want to do with the business. We're going to help you go wherever you want to go. but you have to tell us where you want to go so we can help you get there. So with that, we got to go because Sandra Dilbeck has a live she has to do.
I also want to say one more thing.
Yeah.
There was 9 of us. TJ was here.
Oh, I'm sorry, TJ. I counted the squares. I did the
He was here the whole time.
I did the Brady Bunch thing where I just counted the squares.
Oh, I know. I just wanted you to know he was here.
Sorry,
He's here if
TJ.
you're taking attendance.
Oh yeah, points for everybody. All right, guys. See you next Monday. Bye.